Hi everybody, these are our directions for our mixing vinegar and baking soda lab. We've got a lot of stuff out for this. You're going to need the balance, you're going to either need a basting thermometer or the lab quest, and then you're going to have these little hoppers, and in these hoppers you're going to have a container with a small amount of vinegar, which you will get from Mrs. Brent or myself. And you're also going to have a little cup of baking soda, and this baking soda should last a lot more than just your class, so don't overuse it. At any rate, we're going to start by getting a mass of everything in our open system, so we're going to put all of this in the hopper, including our scoop, and we're going to put it up here on the balance, and we're going to find our mass of this whole thing. Then we're going to bring it down off of here, and a couple things we want to do is one is particularly with the vinegar, before we even start, get a nice whiff with your nose right under that vinegar so you really get an idea of this vinegar smell before we mix it. Then you're going to come here, put the vinegar in the hopper, and you all know what's going to happen is the vinegar and baking soda are going to make it fizz, and the reason we're doing it in the hopper is if it fizzes out of the container, we want everything to land in this. So you don't want to do this over on your table. So we've got this, now we're going to get ready to mix some baking soda in it. But before we do that, whichever one of the thermometers you're using, you want to get it into the vinegar and let it sit for just a moment so that the thermometer can acclimate to the temperature of the vinegar, which may be a little bit different than room temperature. If you're using the LabQuest, you're going to want to put this in, let it sit for about 30 seconds, and then start your LabQuest so it starts to graph. We want the graph showing before we mix any of the baking soda in, because we want to be able to see what happens to the temperature during this mixing process. At any rate, I'll just use the basting thermometer here. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and start putting in your vinegar, or your baking soda rather, and it's going to do just what you think. It's going to fizz. If you're using the basting thermometer, you got to kind of keep track by looking at what's happening there to see if we get a temperature change. And it just fizzed up, didn't fizz out of it at all. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some more, and it's going to fizz some more, and I can just kind of swish it around here with my thermometer, and I can see what's going on, and it's fizzed up again. Notice I've been pretty good. None of it's actually come out into the hopper, but if it does, it does, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and do this again, and I'm still getting some fizzing. I'm still going to be moving this around, and I'm going to do it again, and I get to a point where when I add baking soda, nothing happens. And when I'm at that point, I'm ready to go ahead and either shut my LabQuest off, double check my thermometer, see if the temperature's done anything like that, and then we'll take this out and put, oh, almost forgot, take another big whiff and see if you've noticed the smell change at all, and then all of this stuff that we originally found the mass of needs to go back in the hopper, back on the balance, and we want to find out what has happened to our mass during this whole process. Once you've got that, you're done with this lab. We've checked the mass to see if it's changing, we've checked the temperature to see if it's being affected, and we've taken a big whiff out of that, and that temperature, that smell, and that mass are the three things that we want to be attending to. When we're done with all this, cleanup is important. We have water in our sinks, rinse water just like we did for the sugar and water mixing, and if you spilled over into this container, if you didn't, I don't need to do anything with that because I didn't get any material in here at all. It's done. Please don't dump your mixed vinegar and baking soda straight into the sink, or straight into my rinse water, dumped it in the sink, and then rinse it out. Try and keep our rinse water as clean as we can, but we'll have to change it out, of course, during the day. And do that, and then if you can on this, we'll have some paper towels around. Please try and dry these off as well as you can for the next class. I don't think we can get them perfect, but it would be better the more dry we can get them, and then everything goes right back in here just like that, so the next class can come in and they can use them. Okay? And that's it for this experiment. Have fun mixing vinegar and baking soda.